the tournament began.
What would have the 80s been without Frankie Goes to Hollywood? I didn't like them at the time, but I do now. Nobody sounds like Frankie. They are unique and mesmerizing. Today, we'll rip the music of a C64 namesake game. Welcome to the retrospective. Our goal today is to load up a game, locate the music routine, and then play the game music with our own routine. Sounds like a plan? Great, let's go. So let's first load up the game and take a listen to the music we're about to rip. But hold on, this is good music too. Why not rip this music first as a warm-up exercise? So now I'm gonna hit the reset button of my action replay module. When we load in a game, we'll usually have a small crack intro in the lower parts of the memory. Now, we know that crack intros must contain their own music, so ripping that music ought to be much easier than from a game. When a C64 game is loaded into the memory, it tends to take up most of the space. This is not always so straightforward, but this concept diagram is enough for our purposes right now. Above the game, there usually was some space left at C000. Here I've marked luxuriously 4K for our own code, but we won't be needing that much. The 4K space beginning from D000 is reserved for system functions, the graphics chip, the sound chip, and I/O stuff. You'll see some commands relating to this area later. I did some prep work, and I know that the intro is located at 4800. This is a bit high in memory, but let's not care about that right now. For fun, let's try running the intro now. Yes, it works. The first step in ripping music is to hunt the references to SID chip's volume register, D418. There are other strategies, but I've used this one. So we have one instance, 1841, so let's peek around there. That looks promising actually. There is the D418 reference, and yeah, I think we might be in luck actually. That could be the play routine already. So the address 1830 is a good candidate for music play routine. Music routines often held to the following structure: initialization at some memory location and the player at somewhere else. Our task then is to find the addresses for both, and we already, I think, found the player. The difficult part is to find the initialization and parameters for that. Typically, the initialization requires something in the accumulator or in some memory location. The Ripper-friendliest music routines had all this in one place. For example, like this. First loading the accumulator with a song number, then calling the init once, and then calling the player in a separate loop. This would be ideal, but you will never know how the composers or game makers decided to organize things in order to save memory, for example. This makes music ripping interesting and challenging. We could quite well think ourselves as modern-day Indiana Joneses on a hunt for some ancient artifact.
Let us hurry. There is nothing to fear here. That's what scares me.
Let's do one thing before going forward. I just want to check the intro start address again. 4800. Yep, I see it already. I think we're in luck. That's gotta be the music initialization. Loading a 0 and then calling 1876. I've already written a so-called interrupt handler beforehand that I'm gonna use here. You can find these surely in the internet. There are two kinds. Some begin with the instruction SEE and others don't. this one doesn't. So what this routine does, it basically sets up raster interrupts so that our own piece of code is then being run 50 times a second. I will go ahead and already insert our correct initialization here. We're aiming to target raster line 32. I'm using some padding to smoothen out the raster line. There is code for border color changing, and then playing the music and then changing the color back. Down below is the standard stuff for acknowledging the interrupt and jump to EA31. I'll go ahead and insert the correct play address here. And now we can try it out. Since we are in a custom interrupt handler, we are free to move and use the keyboard. Let's try something still. Are there any other songs included? So let's try putting number 1 here and syncing C000 again. Nah, that's just garbage. Now I will poke a 0 directly back into my own routine and run it again. Please come back for the second part soon. Bye bye!